We start at 4 o'clock with live pictures from Sky 9. This is the Lake Ridge Trail area between Boulder and Lyons. Again, live pictures. The evacuation warning that has been issued for the Lake Ridge Trail area as well as west of Nelson Road due to the grass fire. But as you can see, many resources have already arrived. But Highway 36 right next door is now closed between Neva Road and Nelson Road. And that's partially because of the smoke over the last hour that's caused traffic to back up. So the Boulder County Sheriff is asking you to find an alternate route if you're trying to get north-south through 36 up there.
The fire is between 8 and 10 acres right now. 4 homes have been evacuated. No buildings are on fire at this time, but of course we'll continue to follow this and we'll bring you updates throughout the newscast. Of
course, the concern with something like this is how the weather will impact it. Kathy's been following it for the last hour or so. It's been windy up there.
Yes, elevated fire danger, as we talked about, a theme for much of this week with temperatures running 10 to 20 degrees above average. Tinder dry fuels out there, temperatures in the 70s and 80s, humidity values in the single digits and teens. We've had a red flag warning posted for much of the day, reinstated again tomorrow. And while it may not look overly threatening as you look at this aerial view, it's a good reminder to all of us that we need to be so vigilant and so very careful. Let's talk about what's happening in the Boulder area. Light smoke visible over the Flatirons and across Highway 36 down to I-25. These are your current temperatures. Almost 80 in Denver, 81 in the Boulder area right now. Winds in and around that fire zone are coming in out of the west, 15 to 20 miles per hour. We're seeing kind of a west to southwest flow and kind of monitoring the wind, which has been ebbing and flowing around the area. Red flag warnings are going to go out for some areas of Colorado again tomorrow. Fire weather watch to the south. Elevated fire danger, something we'll be talking about as we head into the weekend with the storm track to the north. Tinder dry conditions here at the surface and temperatures that continue above average. A little bit of haze out there. We're seeing in Fort Collins that the wind is picked up there as well. And just concerns for the fuels out there for any type of ignition. So we just need to be so very careful. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s now will drop into the 60s after sunset in Maine weather. Much more on the elevated fire danger scenario that'll play out again on Friday ahead of a storm this weekend. Alex and Tom, mountain snow in the forecast, accumulating mountain snow, and maybe a little bit of that coming to Denver as well.
Well, everyone's waiting.
For sure.
We are waiting. All right, Kathy, we'll see you in just a few minutes. In the news of the day, a guilty verdict handed down today in the trial of Marcus Johnson. He's accused of killing TJ Cunningham, a former CU football player. They got into a fight over a parking spot outside a high school. 9 News Crime and Justice reporter Matt Jablow joining us now live outside the Arapahoe County Justice Center. Matt?
Alex, the trial lasted 6 days. The jury deliberated 2 more, and when they were finished, they found Marcus Johnson guilty of killing a man over a parking spot. He was a star football player at Overland High School in Aurora and then at CU Boulder before playing for 1 year in the NFL. When his career ended, TJ Cunningham came back home to Colorado to help kids, eventually becoming an assistant principal at Hinckley High School in Aurora. 3 years ago, prosecutors say Cunningham became involved in an ongoing dispute with Marcus Johnson about a parking spot in the neighborhood where they both lived. According to prosecutors, the 2 men agreed to settle the dispute in the parking lot of Eaglecrest High School, where prosecutors say Johnson then shot and killed Cunningham. On Thursday, Johnson showed no emotion when the jury found him guilty of second-degree murder.
This is a death over a parking spot. It's over a parking dispute. This type of thing should just never happen.
After the verdict, the lead prosecutor on the case reflected on the tragedy of Cunningham's death and his legacy in the community.
He grew up in this community and he wanted to help kids who were like him not follow a dangerous path. So he was really beloved by the community, and then this happened.
Marcus Johnson faces up to 48 years in prison when he's sentenced on December 2nd. Alex?
When you talk about a senseless murder and a loss to the community, this one's right there at the top.
No
Matt,
doubt.
thank you. Thank you. A former CEO accused of lying to boost the company's stock is now facing federal fraud allegations. The CEO ran a beverage company based here in Denver. We profiled him in a 9 News investigation.
Yeah, that investigation found that company also received nearly $7 million in COVID-19 relief while listed on the stock market. Our investigative reporter Jeremy Hall has been looking into this story, and he has details on the federal government's lawsuit.
Yeah, it's important to note here that this is actually a federal civil case seeking to penalize him financially. This is not a criminal case. These allegations do not involve COVID relief monies this company received, but they accuse the CEO of lying about the strength of his company for a few years, including during the pandemic. The company is New Age Beverage. The Securities and Exchange Commission is suing the former CEO, Brent Willis. He claimed New Age had distribution deals with the military, 7-Eleven, and Walmart, which increased the stock price. But the lawsuit says those deals were not true. We profiled Willis 2 years ago when New Age got nearly $7 million in COVID government relief that was intended for small businesses. Just before New Age received that COVID money, we found clips of Willis bragging about how well New Age was doing during the pandemic. Here's some of what he said back then.
People get nervous, and so they say stupid like, oh, well, what's the health of New Age or whatever. I mean, this company has never been stronger. We've got maybe on a $300 million company, $10 million of debt. It's nothing.
Willis no longer works for New Age Beverage. He left the company earlier this year. And regarding the COVID relief money New Age received, the company received it legally back then because rules back then were different. They were more broad on what defined a small business here.
I'm sure those videos don't help his case. That's kind of
Not at all.
cringy.
Yeah.
This is a civil case, so what penalties would come out of this?
So the government is suing him, so they're hoping to get some of the money back that he apparently allegedly made from the boosted stock price. And it's also possible that the judge in this case could rule that he should be prohibited from doing certain types of business. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yep.
We have a warning now for homeowners who use natural gas-powered stoves and ovens. New research says that natural gas stoves and ovens may be leaking harmful chemicals inside a home even when those appliances are not in use. One of the chemicals they're talking about is benzene. That's known to cause cancer with long-term exposure. Researchers took gas samples from 159 residential stoves in 16 different California counties. They discovered benzene in 99% of the samples. Over time, exposure to benzene could increase the chance of blood disorders as well as other health problems. The federal government estimates about 47 million American households do use gas-powered stoves and ovens.